Alrighty, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, or good second match of the round 5 of the Men's Premier League here between the Mindil Aces Football Club and Darwin Hearts Football Club. We've had a precursor to this game, a 2-2 draw between Azuri United and Darwin Olympic. Azuri United coming back from the death twice to snatch a point off the Reds, and now we have a match that's going to be hotly contested between the top 2 teams on the Men's Premier League table. My name is George Gufezis, and I'm joined alongside in commentary by Mindil Aces Men's Premier League star James Cameron. I'll get your quick thoughts on this one, James, because this one's been dubbed the Casino Derby, as I've heard. And so, I guess, first of all, how are you going with your minor injury, and what are your thoughts on tonight's contest?
Yeah, I think we're in for a great game tonight, George. I think it's, as you said, it's the top 2 teams, the only 2 unbeaten teams left in the league. Hearts, they're in red hot form, and they've just, the way they've built their club from last year, build on that to now be a force, is really impressive. And I know that Mindil, we're optimistic about our season, so I think this one will be a real good one for indicating how the season's going to go for both. And Hearts will be wanting to really prove their title credentials here.
Absolutely, and coming against one of the sides, Mindil Aces did a bit of research before the game. I could be mistaken here, but have played a part in the last 5 Men's Premier League Grand Finals, I believe. Yeah,
I think 5 in a row. Since Daniel McCormick's taken over, he's made every Grand Final. Only won 2. But
the standard's been there since McCormick's inception.
Yeah, I think that's at Mindil. It's just accepted that we're going to be there or thereabouts at the end of the season, and we've been frustrated with the way our season's going because we do think we've got a very quality side, and we've dropped unnecessary points and obviously gone out of the cup. So I think we're desperate to try and make it click here.
Absolutely, and a strong looking lineup for the Aces as well as the Hearts. Of course, the Hearts coming off their dramatic Cup victory during the week, a 2-0 victory over a 2-1 victory, I should say, over Hellenic. No, 2-0. My apologies. The Blues didn't get off the score sheet as much as they would have liked to. McNabb was kept very quiet by this Hearts backline, which retains its shape. Sushil Shah and Thomas Vuli in the back. Looks like Samueli Safiri at right back, and then Nirod Shrestha will be the Mindil Aces to get us kicked off and underway. Left to right, they're going in your screens in their traditional yellow and black stripes. Referee there in the centre, Eric, ready to get us off and underway. The thumbs up goes up, and we're ready to go just past 8:30 p.m. local time as the Aces get things kicked off. And James Carr with possession. Wide here for Lewis Jones. Back to Carr. Immediate press there on by the Aces. Hot on the ball as Matthew Wallace, the Aces skipper, coming forward with possession. Back inside for Burgess. Quick flick on for Aquara. Flag stays down, but Matthew Wallace says, I'll take that, and puts a cross into the box. No man at the back post, but Aquara with a quick run, trying to bring Safiri down, but that's a free kick. And opening 30 seconds have been fast and frenetic, as I think both of these teams are going to play, if they're not careful, in each other's hands. They both kind of like to play a quick game of football, especially in that midfield.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Hearts cope with a bit more high-pressure football.
Oh, and it's given away here. Burgess taking into the box away from Shah.
Oh, and great defense.
All ball, says the referee, as it goes out for a corner.
That's kind of what I was talking about, in the sense that the Hearts I've watched, I think they've been the best team this season. They've looked really impressive, but I think that they have found a lot of time at the back, and they've got a lot of players who are comfortable playing nice football. So I'm interested to see with a front line that might press them a little bit more how
Absolutely.
They shape up.
A quick corner to be taken in there, but possession's surrendered. Safiri goes wide, but it's given back to Mindil, and Mifsud gets onto this, and his left foot, as good as it is, won't beat the offside flag, as the referee says he was slightly overexcited to win possession back there. And to your point, quick to it, and the Hearts have a free kick courtesy of the offside. Shortly taken to Vuli. Wide to Safiri. Nicely closed down by Burbage there. Now Sam Burgess trying to pirouette through danger as he does, but came off the Irishman in the end, and it goes out of play for a throw. Pivotal player, hasn't he been, Sam Burgess, in the Aces side so far?
He's unreal. I think from the football I've seen in Darwin, I think he's been the form player in the comp. up there. He's got a really nice understanding with Alex Barry and where Mindil are missing him tonight. But yeah, even Sam in the space there, his little turns in space and his touch is, he's a game changer.
Sure is. He's played at a very good level as well, Sam Burgess, and he's looking to add that magical spark to the rest of his teammates so far. As Hearts trying to play themselves out of defence here. Sushil Shah, another one of those rock players so far this season's been firm for the Hearts as Nero Shrestha trying to come out of defence. Need to be careful here. Mindil have trying to capsulate him inside here as James Carr clears away. Clifford Maynard, nice outside of the football, finds Mifsud. Now Dominic Burbidge advancing forwards, got Vuli in front of him. Cross comes in, Sushil Shah sticks the leg out and over-committing in that particular phase where the Aces. Burgess tried to get in there. Comes out wide now to Yadu Silwal.
It's good to see Dom Burbidge getting rewarded for some of his goals. I mean, he's really earned himself that start. He's been a really hard worker and he's got himself a run. So.
Absolutely a live wire off the bench whenever we see Dominic Burbidge. As some players sometimes are just that live wire off the bench, but it's good to see him, as you said, rewarded with the starting role and to see if he can hold down a starting spot.
Definitely earned it. Like he's equal top scorer at the moment with very limited minutes. So.
Cross comes in by Burbidge, looking for Eriku.
Top scorer for Mindil, sorry.
It's been very good up front, Burbidge, as Lewis Jones plays it back. Aces have set up here on halfway as James Carr sends it forward. Nice ball as well. Burbidge timing the run. Takes it down, cross comes in. Aquara, still Aquara, blocked there by Silwell. As Lewis Jones who strikes. Oh, and that's a great strike!
That's what he's got in his locker, Lewis Jones.
And certainly been able to produce a wonder strike there. Only 4 minutes gone there, James, and the Aces already in front.
We've worked a lot on that. We've talked a lot with Aquara, back to goal, looking for his options, and our right and left backs can overlap and be a threat. Mifsud with his service, and Lewis Jones has a venomous strike, so he's really made sure of that. It'll be great. He'll be very happy to see that one go in.
Notorious for their clean sheets, the Darwin Hearts, but they're not going to be clean after tonight with a shot like that from Lewis Jones. Absolutely giving Minucci no chance, and
takes a good shot to beat Josh Minucci from there. We saw him save a couple in the cup.
Absolutely, and the same amount of time has surpassed tonight that it did on Tuesday, except then it was the Hearts that stole the lead against Hellenic. Now the Aces have pegged them back and they look to be going forward again. Burgess looking to thread one through, just a little too wide there as Burbidge out of position, and the Hearts now need to settle down. The next 10 minutes will be crucial.
Well, one thing I will say about this Hearts team is it's not the Hearts team of old that might roll over. Is they've, at the end of last season and this season, they've really got belief. They play as a unit. They know what they're doing, and I know that they're definitely going to keep pushing for this. And
it's good that you pointed that out. It's not just this season. They've sort of come back into the fray towards the end of last season when the Hearts got a lot of their key players fit and on the park. They did perform or get some good results towards the end of the season. I remember a nail-biter against Hellenic, I think 5-4.
And they beat Mindil 4-3. So.
Yeah, going into that premiership era, the Aces and Hellenic, as they've been competing for a number of years now, whether it's Hellenic or the Aces that finish atop of the tree. It's been those two sides that have been setting the benchmark for a couple seasons now, but I guess as the league as a whole, James, it seems like it's going to be a little bit more even across the park. A lot of sides have shown to each other that if one's not up for it when the other one is, it could go either way.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a much more interesting year for the neutral, to be honest. I think Hellenic are looking like they're not the juggernaut that they were, and Mindil are dropping silly points. I think Hearts have improved out of sight. Azuri have a really promising young team, and Olympic this year have a real fight, as they showed us and they've showed a few teams. So I think it's going to be a real, and obviously can't ever count out Kaz.
Of course.
And then we've got Garuda and Port, who are in a bit of a rebuilding phase, and you know, I think they're going to take points here and there.
Yep, absolutely.
It's going to be, I think the top four battle is going to be great, and I think the premiership's not going to be sewed up till very late.
Absolutely. So it will be an exciting watch, certainly for the neutral, as you'll be able to catch all games live here on FN TV's digital channels across YouTube, coming at your screens. No matter where you are around the world, as the Aces look to have taken possession of the Hearts here. Eriku, that strength and blistering pace, just gets out muscled there by Yaru Siwa, as the Hearts look to perhaps come on a quick counter-attack here. Chol Jocks played it through. Sam William Safiri leaves it for Angel Geary, who we've seen his dazzling footwork already this season. Jock back to Rishi Magar. Now Chol Jock again. Rabin Shrestha's pushed forward and receives possession. Not afraid to utilise Niraj Shrestha.
This is something that I think that Hearts do as well as anyone in the league, the way they're comfortable recycling it. Whereas I think a lot of other teams get it, move forward and lose it. I think the Hearts know not to rush it and they're comfortable going back with it. Absolutely.
The Aces, though, do look like a side that they set up for that. When they do lose possession, there's almost an instinctive, all right, this is where I need to be, as the Aces look to have won it back here. Referee says play on, and won't be a foul there as Joshua Evans stays to ground, perhaps a late foot by Chol Jock, and it's one of those players that doesn't stay to ground unless there is a complaint, and Eric, the referee, acknowledges that.
I'm not sure how, maybe the ref said play advantage there because
perhaps,
but if he's...
It seemed as though the Aces...
to me like a late foot.
The Aces paused on that just to see whether the free kick was going to be given, but...
Looks like he's going to be okay to play on. He's a pretty tough customer.
Certainly can't really spot a feather in the team of the Aces. They're quite strong all around the park, and more notably that partnership between James Carr and Joshua Evans, who...
It's a pretty experienced centre-back partnership. I know Josh Evans, after the Cup, actually during the Cup, got opened up, quite a big cut above his eye, and then played on through it, and then ended up in hospital until 6 a.m. the next morning getting it cleaned up.
Well, there you go. As now Charles Eriku looking to come forward. Matthew Wallace has made an enterprising run up against Sushil Shah. Cross comes in, comes straight to Thomas Vuli. The Aces are set up on the edge of the box as it just came to directive as Chol Jock now on the break. Clifford Maynor holding him down as Geary back to Magar, back out wide, but Mifsud was set up well there. The left back cuts out possession. Adventuring forward now, Matthew Mifsud looking to play it through to Aquara, but it's cut out by Safiri, and now Yadu Siwal. Dangerous ball here, but it's played first time by Niraj Shrestha. Yadu Siwal out to Thomas Vuli. Backwards it comes now to Niraj Shrestha. Sushil Shah plays it here for Siwal, or Jock rather, trying to get it to Safiri. Angel Geary and Deng Jock have come forward. Comes through to Evans though, and that one will played out nicely.
Nice touch.
Nice touch from Lewis Jones there. Fought up high and winning it down his highest point as Mifsud has possession. Joshua Evans. Nice enterprising run made by Eriku, and he can take it in his stride here, Charles Eriku. Niraj Shrestha with him. And now he's got the pace and to burn away from Shrestha. Still Charles Eriku, ball inside, and Aquara! It's two! Easy as you like it. The Hearts' defence turned inside out, and it's the golden boy for the Aces, Charles Eriku, providing the assist that time for Aquara, but...
Well, I think that's what Aces fans have been waiting to see all season. Eriku's got the pace, the explosiveness, and you know that Aquara should be in the 60. You'll be thrilled to see that finally come to fruition.
Absolutely, and I was going to touch onto his name sooner or later, but Charles Eriku has really come back into the side and done what he did when he left. Of course, winning the Aces the grand final almost single-handedly against Casuarina. Has had some time in the state to perhaps build that experience and certainly his stature, and he's come back a player and a half.
Absolutely. I mean, as you said, he was electric before he left, and he obviously had that spark, and now he's come back with a little bit more mature. He's got the composure, and he's got the game smarts, really. And I think he would probably admit that he's been quiet for his standards since he's come in, just in terms of end product. He's definitely been getting the ball, getting down the line, getting field position. But I think he scored in his last game, and he's just done a great assist there. So I think we're going to really see him kick on from here. And
scary sight.
When we talk about good players in the comp, there aren't many better than Charles at full flight.
Absolutely. As Angel Geary coming through a couple here, and well...
Although there's another one, Angel Geary, who's always got something in his locker.
For sure, a decent player there, Angel Geary. We had the NRL in the territory last week. That looked more like a conversion to me. Well over the bar. As I think that's going to be a problem this evening for the Hearts, without, of course, their spearhead and Sunil Shrestha, who I thought, if he had played tonight, he does provide that physical presence up forward, whereas
the hold-up play.
Geary and Jock perhaps out-muscled in that department tonight.
And especially against these centre-backs who are quite physical and experienced. They're a hard centre-back partnership to play against.
Stress, they're going for a long attempt.
One thing I will say I've been impressed by the Hearts is their just willingness to shoot. Always, like you would have noticed, just whether or not, a lot of them wide, a lot of them over, but unlike any other team in this league, if they get the ball 30 yards out, they just have one.
100%, yeah.
And it's, I mean, a lot of those players can hit a ball. I think we're going to see a lot of, when we see the end of year best goals of the season, I think 50% of them will probably be Hearts.
Certainly, there've been a lot of audacious attempts and a good build-up play here. Nice turn there from Jock, and he comes through here on his left. Oh, and he strikes and scores. Gets one back, and Deng Jock has continued his impressive start to the season, scoring once again for the Hearts. And to your point, commentators curse perhaps against the Aces. When they see a chance, they take the shot.
Absolutely. I know, I mean, that's the thing. This Hearts team are always a threat. I think Jimmy Carr won't want to see that one back, but that said, I don't take anything away. The turn was great, got himself into space, and then composure to find the near stick. And it was, yeah, this Hearts team have just always got a threat.
Look to sell the eyes there to Lachlan Ray-Chadri there, just a...
Yeah, very composed finish.
Good finish there by the young Deng Jock.
And he's one of those players that we were talking about before the game about there's a lot of big names have come into Hearts, and some of the previous existing names have stepped up, and they've looked really great this year.
Certainly has stepped up to the plate, as has Chol Jock. So a drop ball there for the Hearts with Rishi Maga. A very efficient player in season 2023 and has continued his form into the current campaign. Rishi Maga. Lewis Jones just letting Robin Shrestha know that I'm here. Certainly announced himself with his long-range shot, but that one...
He's always good to announce himself for a bit of a physical challenge as well, Lewis. This team as well, we're watching the two best defences in the league, and I don't think many people would have predicted 3 goals in the first 14 minutes.
That's exactly right.
They've conceded, I think, maybe like 5 and 4 each so far this season, or less.
Yeah, yep. 3 for the Aces, or 4 for the Aces now, I should say, and 4 for the Hearts after conceding 2 tonight. So
previous to this was 3 and 2. Yeah. So, and they've played, I mean...
Ooh, that's a cynical challenge. Referee says play on. Eriku has the pace, but Nero Shrestha perhaps just got there a touch ahead. But now Charles Eriku cutting inside. Nero Shrestha needed to get the touch there. Referee says play on, as the Hearts will come out of defence, but perhaps there's a yellow card waiting for them.
There should be.
As the play continues.
Although it always, when the play continues too long, you always forget.
Well, here we go.
See if he goes back for it. No, he's moved on.
Short memory there. Burgess asking the question, as you should, as Hearts with a throw in here. Did say just before the 5th minute when the Hearts conceded that the next 10 minutes would be important. Well, they've conceded another and they've gotten one back as Aquara comes into Dominic Burbage. Finds Sam Burgess. Nice cross there off the foot of Sushil Shah. Not quite a handball as the centre back comes forward. Captain sends one forward for Jock. Takes a good touch there, but Matthew Wallace, the captain for the Aces, coming back and seeing that ball come to an end as the goalkeeper for the Aces whips a nice caressed pass forward for Matthew Mifsud. Now Clifford Maynard with possession, turns away from Maga, looks down the line, finds Mifsud, tackled there well by Safiri. Now Geary looking up and tried to find Maga, but perhaps the referee's picked out something here. Certainly I
think a little foul there.
The linesman's flagged for that one, so a Hearts ball. So it has certainly been nothing but an exciting contest for the neutral so far. 3 goals we've had in the opening 16.5 minutes as Sushil Shah goes for a long attempt, but he did say they're not afraid to shoot, but he perhaps might want to take that one back.
You just never know, and then 1 in 10 will fly top corner, so you just never know. I don't mind the strategy. I don't have it in my locker, but if these boys do, good on them. A
number of long-range attempts, I think, scored last campaign. I certainly remember a couple of them for and against both these sides out there tonight, but
yeah, I feel like Rishi Maga has it in his locker.
Absolutely, certainly from a set piece for sure. Rishi Maga is a confident hit of the ball. Goal kick for the Aces. And Chadri sends us forward. Picked off there by the Hearts. Robin Shrestha plays this forward. Advantage perhaps of some sorts continues as Deng Jock holds it up. Lewis Jones and the Aces set up though in defence. Needs to be a good ball here. Straight to the head of Dominic Burbidge. Yadu Siwal with time on the ball. The Aces well set up as he looks to go for a long ball. Goalkeeper comes out. Chance for Geary. Oh, and it's just wide. Corner kick, but pandemonium again in the box.
I think Aces are looking for a foul on the keeper, but I mean, as a forward,
the goalkeeper came out for that.
To compete.
Yeah. We saw it, I think, during the week with Kane McAdam coming out against the Darwin Hearts, and perhaps a lot of people calling for that to be a foul against the goalkeeper, but we know that they're allowed to protect themselves. Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, look, as a forward, I'm happy for goalkeepers to get penalised. They always raise their knee and throw elbows and then claim fouls. So I'm protected species. I say challenge them.
Certainly, and that was a very hand-in-heart moment there, almost for the Aces, but they defended as Chol Jock stays to ground there, just receiving some attention by the trainer. Rishi Maga has come across to take the corner. Thomas Vuli has proceeded forward, as has Sushil Shah, so both centre halves. But for any team to have a corner, to have it against Mindil is probably a nightmarish task. They've got a lot of tall players certainly defending the ball for Mindil.
But that said, we dropped points versus Hellenic from Foundi Geku, who might be the smallest player on the pitch, getting a header, so we're still scratching our head about that one happened. Where, yeah, we've got a lot of big aerial threats there. But so does their big bopper coming in. So.
Absolutely. Both centre halves have pushed forward as ball comes in from Maga. It's short though. Coming at this Burbidge, swing and a miss from Angel Geary. Siwal will get there ahead of Eriku. Sends it immediately wide for Deng Jock. Corralled himself into a spot, and that should be a... Oh, okay, it's a Hearts ball. As the throw comes in with Jock. Throwing it inside, but looked to be a foot off the ground there. So Mindil throw.
Absolute coach killer, those ones. I think we've had a couple as well this year, so it's just
albeit local league, you'd think that a throw-in should be a routine practice.
I just think at this level, you shouldn't be doing a foul throw. But it's remarkable how many blokes get them wrong.
Absolutely.
Any youngsters watching, just make sure you practice the fundamentals.
That's for sure, coming from a Premier League player there. As now Mindil looking to come forward. Eriku lays it back inside for Wallace, and Eriku almost a decoy run away from Aquara. Pace to recover almost any ball. Nice ball in. That's a header. A saved. Burgess. Aquara. Flag stays down, and that's the third for the Mindil. The Hearts defence really much on life support there.
And that's what Aquara does. He just pops up in the box. He knows where's to be, and he puts them away.
Right place at the right time, certainly.
A lot of credit to, of course, Charles Eriku for getting around, and then Dom Burbidge getting that one on goal.
Yeah, Burgess keeping it alive.
Save, and then Burbidge getting there.
Burgess keeping it alive for Quara. So the Irishman gets another assist to his name for the season, and Burbidge certainly loved that one. So that's perhaps the breathing room you needed against a side like this.
Well, I think it's, I mean, as they showed last time we went 2 up, it's this game won't be dead till it's dead.
No, that's exactly right. So 3-1 to Mindil. About to skip into the 21st minute, and 4 goals for the neutral, and I think we're far from the conclusion of the scoring as Robin Shrestha trying to get away from Matthew Wallace, but no through the legs this time as the throw does go to the way of the Hearts. Back inside as Jock. It's a poor touch there, and so Mindil will have a chance to throw forward, and certainly a sizable crowd for an Aces Hearts contest. Of course, that's the positives of having a match prior to this one. You sort of acts as a curtain raiser to the big performance as Aquara takes a nice touch away. Here is Burgess, called early from Matthew Mifsud. Cross comes inside. Vuli at the front post, and now Yadu Siwal plays it out wide, and now coming forward is Robin Shrestha. Possession, still Shrestha. Backwards to Sushil Shah. Sending a long ball forward. Evans reads the flight of it, perfection.
That's one thing that Evans and Carr give you is they're not always quick to head it away. They want to control it and recycle possession instead of just a clearance. And it's really nice as a Mindil player to get the ball, keep the ball instead of just have to fight for the second one.
Absolutely, it's more of a detriment when you just give possession away. As now ball is sent forward. Nice run here from Eriku. Long legs to get to the end of that. Eriku still, almost reading that. To perfection was Minucci, and needed to for fourth goal. Had gone in there, would have been tough doing. It still is tough doing for the Hearts, but
the Aces are looking rampant at the moment.
Absolutely, and Charles Eriku's, I guess in trying to relate it to the UFC in terms of the reach of a player, his reach in terms of his legs is able to get to a lot of balls that most players would just either leave it or, not put an effort. Yeah, it's fantastic to see, and
makes my hamstrings hurt just watching him.
Short corner for Jones. Ball comes in and the header goes backwards. Aquara comes out here. Chance! Oh, what a goal!
Josh Evans.
Joshua Evans. We spoke about it earlier in terms of goals of the season. Joshua Evans heard you from up here and goes bang.
Well, after a couple of frustrating results for the Aces, it looks like they've found their shooting boots, doesn't it?
Oh, they're certainly playing the right cards at the moment. Mindil, layback from Wallace, and oh my goodness, off the crossbar. That's a fantastic hit.
We talked about it having to be good to beat Minucci from that range, and it was pretty good.
Goodness me. We spoke about it pre-game that James Carr made a case to being a forward. Well, with shots like that, Daniel McCormick's analysis of this game might be to play Joshua Evans up front.
He's a class player. There wouldn't be many players in Darwin with a better resume than Josh. He's played a lot of years captaining a very good MPL side.
Yeah. Northern New South Wales, I believe, at Edgeworth. And nice chance here. Onside, Aquara. Oh, and Minucci just about gets there, but it's threatening to really get out of control here. The Hearts' next 5 minutes will be crucial, whether they still play their open, enterprising, attacking play, or whether they try and just retain some composure. Players are warming up behind the goals for the Hearts as Charles Eriku gets a good touch in there.
Look, the only thing I can think is maybe there's a bit of a cup hangover as well. I mean, it is really hard to back up after playing on Tuesday. I know that we had a Port game and McCormick was lucky enough to rotate a lot of our squad. And so it is really hard after playing a really tough game against Hellenic on Tuesday.
I was going to allude to that. Obviously, the Aces played 120 minutes of football, followed by an emotional penalty shootout. These boys played 90 minutes and perhaps were much the better side against Hellenic. So how does that affect going, especially into a Friday game? I believe the Aces had that Friday turnover too. So
I mean, we were perhaps, without wanting to be disrespectful, like up against Port, we had a bit of an opportunity to rotate a few players. And also, Mindil has a lot of depth. We have a few players away, but yeah, we've got a few players pushing, so it was a bit of an opportunity for McCormick to bring some changes. But playing Hellenic at any point for 90 minutes is grueling, and so it's I'm sure for Hearts to go from that straight onto, I would argue Mindil is one of the more physical teams to play against. It's going to be a test for any team.
So first versus second as Eriku played through again. Clever touch to hold up. Sushil Shah cuts on the inside and a shot is blocked and almost comes back to Eriku. Brought to ground. Referee says play on. Perhaps a little sympathetic to the cause there, the referee. It could have been a free kick to Eriku with some pressure in the back, but
I will say Matt Wallace has been playing some lovely football. He should have had 2 assists really.
Absolutely. Taking Jock now. Oh, beautiful tackle there from James Carr. Coming away with nothing but the ball. Inside by Shrestha to Jock. The brothers combine there. Chol to Deng. Robin Shrestha corralled by a couple of Aces. Gets the pass backwards to some William Safiri, but Aquara's header thankfully just gives the ball back to the Hearts fullback. Chol Jock searching for it out. Has to go back to Sushil Shah. Now his ball is only backwards. That's all they can muster. Silwell back to Minucci. Now goes wide to Vuli. The only change, really, to this starting 11 is, of course, Sunil Shrestha out, and that's a nice read again. Perhaps a ball like that against a different outfit may have reached through to Deng Jock. That's why that run was made, but you said it well. James Carr and Josh Evans aren't going to give much up at the back.
And they're just so experienced. They know where to be. They might not be the quickest, but they know where to be. They know how to tackle. They know where to how to use their bodies. I know having to play them in training every week. It's a big
How many goals I bet have scored?
Yeah, that's probably why we're not scoring any in games.
Oh, nice run here by Lewis Jones. We know he can wrap around one. Sets himself up. Nice wrap around as Shah brings it down. Cause of hands from the Aces Ultras, but that one comes off the chest as Sushil Shah now. But again, off the ball, the Aces immediately choreographed to defend just to meticulous perfection as Burbage just holds it up, doesn't force the immediate counter-attack, and once again just plays it out into touch. Stoppages like this won't, I guess, displease Daniel McCormick because the Hearts are a very fluid and fast-playing team.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because it used to be the opposite when we'd play Hearts. We used to try and keep it going fluid, and we knew that Hearts would do a lot of stoppages in play, and they'd try and frustrate us, and it would often frustrate us. And Hearts have got some very frustrating results against us. But now it's a whole different outfit. And full credit to them for building this up, and they're a great attacking team to watch. So I think it's a full credit to them that McCormick will be happy for breaks in play.
Free kick there for the Aces, bringing Eriku to ground. And I was alluding it earlier by saying that Sunil Shrestha perhaps may be out for the Hearts, but he is a forward player. A lot of the, I guess, creaks that have come tonight for the Hearts have been defensively. Is it fatigue? It's the same back four that played on Tuesday.
Exactly right, and against McNabb and Choke and Rontos and other players, it's exhausting, and they got a famous clean sheet in that result. So I also think a little bit, without wanting to be too big-headed as an Aces fan, we've been threatening for a while now for it to click. And
absolutely.
I mean, there's not much they could do about a couple of those goals. Like if Lewis Jones and Josh Evans are going to put them top corner, and then obviously Charles Eriku's pretty hard for anyone to catch. So it's you don't want to be overly critical.
No, as Angel Geary coming down the left here. This is a chance for the Hearts. Can he find a pass? Not really, as Dominic.
Tracking back from Don Burbage.
The winger gets back and does good tracking. As now Lewis Jones has possession. Again, just assessing the field of play. Doesn't need to rush. Clifford Maynard, one of the best quarterbacks of the game, I think, sits just in front of that back four and orchestrates play. Wallace losing possession there to Chol Jock.
Alex Barry might be sitting watching this in Ireland wondering if he's getting a shirt when he gets back.
There'd be a couple players like that. I mean,
me as well.
I was going to say, as now Burgess, look at that, trying to get the right side of Silwell. Certainly Alex Barry will be looking on here.
And we've still got Emmanuel Kipitor to come off the bench, who's an electric young player.
Yeah, and well, no point to it to your centre halves keeping, you said perhaps Jacob Meehan Lee suffering from a little bit of an illness, but with the form that they've kept so far, Evans and Carr, Meehan Lee will be needing to prove his point when he gets an opportunity later tonight.
Callum Kerr's been arguably one of our best performers this season, and he's on the bench as well. So it's a luxury also. Well, yeah, absolutely.
Burgess trying to get through. Look at that by Quara. Oh. Looked to be another counter-attack there from the Aces, but it's a flag.
Would have been close, but maybe he ventured a bit off.
Catches Acquire offside, not for the offsides, unfortunately, but those of you at home have the luxury of replaying that one and watching it back, but
it's always tight and it's hard live for the linesman.
Absolutely. So I always tend to just defaultingly agree with the referee.
Well, when it's Acquira, it's always safe to assume it's offside.
Oh, it's a little harsh. Certainly, I think with his time at formerly Azuri FC, now Azuri United, he was a very player that had the potential but was very untapped, and then since coming to the Aces he's become a real goal scoring threat. You said it, obviously last year had a bit of a slow start to the season, but then when he finds his stride he almost just can't stop scoring.
Absolutely, he's one of those streaky players, and you just know when he's on, it'll be he's one of those players I think defenders must come off thinking, oh, I had his measure, but he's got 3 goals, and he just pops up, he knows where to be, he hits in bottom corner. He's a very difficult player to defend against and to play against because he's just everywhere.
Absolutely.
He works very hard, he's very strong, he's big.
Lay off there nicely by Aquara to his captain in Matthew Wallace. Coming forward now, the captain, through the legs nicely of Vuli. Almost getting in there for seconds, Matthew Wallace.
Maybe lucky that he didn't collect him there.
It might have been a caution for the captain, but now the Hearts have worked it out here into an open space, but
see, I think that's fatigue. Like all season, you haven't seen Rishi Maga lose the ball there.
No.
He's so tidy with his feet, and I think you can only say that's Tuesday to Friday backing up.
Well, perhaps to that point, I did receive some intel last night that there would have been a number of players who are currently starting for the Hearts that were not going to play tonight. So whether that's the players overruling the coach, not going to name names as to who the personnel are, but perhaps it's just that passion, like you said, they've undefeated so far. You know, in a cup semi-final, some of these players just against the awareness of their bodies, just wanting to keep playing. And also,
Hearts are a project. They're coming along. They're obviously going really well on it, but it's like they haven't quite built that depth yet of squad. So it's maybe if you're up against a top of the table clash, you're tempted to
keep
not
playing.
Rest players.
Yeah.
So it's one of those. And as I know, as a player, you want to play in these games. You don't want to sit them out.
That's exactly right. As Sushil Shah sends it to Angel Geary. He's got some space. Lewis Jones committed a little forward, but recovers well. Immediately going forward to Chol Jock.
Just needed to come a bit earlier. The run was good, and he had a pocket of space, but he just kind of had to hold up his run a little.
Yeah, absolutely, and certainly not in a hurry to play the ball here. The Aces goalkeeper, who don't want to dwell on it too much, but he did miss that Australia Cup quarter-final. I was told work commitments.
Yeah, it's a shame. Obviously we had a great goalkeeper to deputise for him. Vinny is one of the best young keepers in the territory.
Absolutely.
And I think he's a Premier League.
Oh, look at that, Burgess. Away from Vuli. Oh, and perhaps Eriku, as fast as he is, just perhaps thought he got a bit of a nudge in there and asked the question to the referee, but just comes through the goalkeeper. So another chance perhaps that could have come off for the Aces is Sushil Shah to Rishi Maga. Now Safiri back to the Hearts skipper. To Maga. Sushil Shah. Ravin Shrestha immediately closed down. Gets it out to Maga. But immediately, once again, just that space is being diminished by Mindil. Sushil Shah, now the centre-half, finds himself just forward of the back four. Across to Yaru Siwa, who scored his side's second goal in their 2-0 victory over Hellenic during the week.
Great goal too.
Fantastic to hold off a Jeke like that.
Not many players can hold off Tegro Jeke.
No way, as Geary still on the ball. Far ball is on. It's eventually found. Seems to be of a switch of the fullbacks. Nero Shrestha coming to the right back as Burbage just overruns it. Now almost through to Geary, but to your point, Joshua Evans reading that ball to perfection. Maynard combining with Eriku, and
I did think Hearts would come more central, like the way they played versus Hellenic with just having lots of shots through the middle. I thought might expose Mindil a little bit because Cliff Maynard's a great ball player, but he's maybe not super mobile across there. And so I'm interested to see that it seems to have gone wide and put crosses in because it seems to suit Mindil's strengths at the back.
Exactly. I think perhaps the side don't even acknowledge that they're playing without Sunil Shrestha. They still think that he's still on the park, perhaps.
Could be, yeah. And then when you've seen teams that have, for example, Olympic, who had a great game against Aces, with 10 men even, they really pushed Aces by going through the guts and, Andrew Prifty before he got sent off, and there was a lot of great movement through the middle. Isaac Voicey, who I know, great young player, so there's lots of, it seems like there's space there as opposed to out wide.
Yeah. So chance here to Mifsud, another ball coming inside. Good height as well as Manucci's able to pluck it out of the air in between Wallace and Aquara. Acknowledged the thumbs up there from a ball by Mifsud as now Shrestha gets around the experienced defender. Flag would rise here as Ray Chadri gets it out, and it's just the throw.
I don't understand those ones because if it's like he's obviously
it's offside,
not
you put the flag up.
It's forced our goalkeeper to come out and kick it out.
Yeah,
so
surrenders possession.
He's interfered in play, but I mean, it is what it is. I guess they want to just let the game flow.
No, but you're right to your point, because sometimes we see it in the professional game that the flag takes a little too long to rise, and as a result, I've seen it many times in the top 5 leagues in Europe where injuries occur sometimes, where they let it go just because they know VAR is there. But
they let it go here, and now we've seen
have the luxury of VAR though.
And so you might, if you know he's offside, put the flag up. But I mean, I'm sure there's some sort of rules around it that I don't understand.
So Shah simply has possession stripped from him by Sam Burgess. Aquara turns away from Vuli, or the Fijian almost had his pocket picked, and that would have been a rare occurrence. He's had a good start to the season, the 42-year-old.
I would have liked to see the big man in a foot race.
Yeah, that would have been perfect.
It would have been good, him versus Chris.
And offside against Chol Jock.
I've seen a lot of Fijians his size move pretty quick, so the NRL was in town.
Yeah. He's had a lot of people's numbers, and I was only told on Tuesday that he is 42 years old. He has played at a decent level.
Absolutely.
Thomas Vuli, of course, representing his country over 20 times in a lot of Oceanic World Cup qualifiers as well. So he's really perplexed to learn that, and of course he's had a lot of people's cards so far, but
absolutely he won't be overawed by the occasion. I know
still up for it.
Not too upset to not be having to go up against him.
Yeah, but Mindil certainly doing well as it stands. Less than 7 minutes remain in this first half as they're trying to attack again, but it's picked off by Sushil Shah. Now Jock looking for his brother Chol to Deng, and a late challenge there from Evans, just clipping a bit of Deng Jock. But challenges quickly away from Geary.
Optimistic to take that header there.
Very optimistic. But I was going to refer back to that challenge by Evans. It was nowhere near a cynical challenge for a card, but it just held up the play.
It was, yeah, exactly right. It's a bit professional, you know what I mean? It's breaking up the play. It's holding up. He probably had a look, saw they were on a bit of a break, and just take a little foul.
Yeah.
It's that sort of that shows like the education he's had. And
correct.
The experience is what he's done.
High foot there, I think, by the Hearts player. So it is perhaps Burgess thought, where's the advantage? Just wants to keep playing. Certainly he's one of those players, when you look at him, certainly from up here, doesn't look like the quickest player, but neither is Lionel Messi. But the thing is the pace of
his
how...
first 3 steps and his brain.
Yeah.
Like I know at training and in games, you think you've got him covered, you're there, and you're giving himself a space, and he just does a little touch, and he just gets away every time. His his first touch and his pace of thought is just unreal.
That's exactly to my point, alluding to just his quickness with the ball at his feet is what he perhaps lacks in raw pace. He makes up for in his quick thinking. And
I'll say it's probably to the Aces' credit that this might be the first game that the rest of the Aces have kind of stepped up, and he's looked like a cog in a machine.
I was going to don't say you're alluding to Burgess looking a little lackluster.
He's looked great as always, but it's almost been the other games that
he stood out.
It's been almost like kick to Burgess and hope.
Yeah.
And not to take anything away from the rest of the players, but today it's looking like Aquara, Eriku, Jones. The rest of the players are really showing that they are also some of the top players in the league.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's maybe a little bit, can take a bit of weight off Sam, and he can start looking for space and start looking, and he's got to get another assist.
Well, I mean, to that point there, it's perhaps because a certain player isn't out there tonight and he's up here commentating with me. So first game without James Cameron, and
they're on fire.
They're on fire. Well, Sam Burgess perhaps look a little average as Burbage looks to go outside of the foot. It's a good ball as well. Aquara with the pace and the technique to turn away from Shah. By himself a little bit there, Aquara. Be good to do the corner here, but Aquara says no. Wants to regather himself, and perhaps he's going to turn against Shah. Back to Jones, offered in space. Nice lateral ball, finds Wallace on his left, and certainly his right foot is the one that can cause damage, but left foot and up 4-1, the captain with the ball, you don't mind shots like that.
No, absolutely. And look, we haven't seen it in Premier League, but at training, Wallace does have that in his locker, a shot from distance.
On his left?
Maybe less on his left.
But you don't mind that chance. The space was there. You're up 4-1.
It's a shooting chance, and I mean, if you've got to try and encourage the defenders to push out on you. So
certainly. So with less than 5 minutes to go of regulation time in this half, the Hearts have really been shell-shocked. They were in the opening 5, did well to cut it back to a 1-goal lead to 2-1, and now just the Aces using their experience to edge out now to a 3-goal advantage as James Carr once again reads it well.
They've looked in control, haven't they? Although, as I say that, a good chance to get one back.
To Jock, just waited, and they give the foul away. Perhaps should have taken the chance by himself, Angel Geary.
Yeah, it's a tough one there because it's, I mean, you see the 2-on-1, you think you got the overlap, he's just slightly underhit the pass and you don't want to give the centre-back a chance there. I think maybe you have to try and force the defender to commit, but, I mean, it's easy in hindsight, isn't it?
Absolutely, and game still continues now.
Looked like a good chance, though.
Certainly did. If there's any player, certainly in the Hearts, that can take a shot with both feet, it is Angel Geary.
He took his goal very nicely in the Australian Cup. Really tidy and really composed.
Wallace looks to escape away, and that's a foul every day. And the card is out there. A ticket to the raffle for Yadu Siwa.
I think for me, Matt Wallace has looked best on park. He's
been very good.
He's been covering metres, he's been churning through the middle, and also his delivery's been good. He's played a couple through.
We won't divulge too much into what was spoken about him pre-game, but he's certainly proving a point. Absolutely. Matthew Wallace, perhaps on the road to recapturing his form from a couple of years ago.
Really, I think he's been his biggest critic coming back from injury last year, and he's obviously a player that's very athletic, and I think he's he's not used to himself not being able to deliver what he normally can, and I think we're gonna see it come back, and it's starting to be here today. We're seeing it in training every week. So
Burgess goes backwards to Evans, now to Carr. Less than a minute and a half of regulation time. A erratic clearance there from Yadu Siwal, and enough time for Manucci to gather. Daniel McCormick and the Aces will be very happy to go into the break with a 3-goal advantage, and Martinho Suarez and the Hearts will certainly be looking at one another in the halftime sheds just to ask the question as to what's gone wrong, but I think it's more of a case as to what's gone right for the Aces. They've just clicking so well at the moment as a ball comes over the top. It's a well-timed run, but
I mean, at the end of the day, Hearts have had quite a couple of good chances. If one of those goes in, and then the flip side is Aces have hit 2 worldies. So the tap-ins were well-made goals, and then on any other day, those shots from distance fly the other side of the post, and we're going off at half-time at 2-2.
Correct.
So, I mean, hopefully the Hearts aren't too critical and try and keep playing their football, because it's much like we've come off in many games thinking, how have we not won that? This time it's all gone in. So.
I was going to say, it's those shots that you would have seen in other games where you drop points perhaps to your Olympics and thinking
maybe it helps
shots.
That they're not falling to Callum Kerr.
No. I'm sure he'll come on in the second half and have a say to this game, but so far so good, as we've got seconds of regulation time remaining. Mifsud and the Aces are not done yet. Eriku now. Can he drop the shoulder? He does, and goes to the left. Chance for the Aces. Oh, a cross, and it goes in. Dominic Burbage. It looked like a ball on a platter for Aquara, but Burbage bought a seat at the table, and
I mean, Burbage is another one who he doesn't stop running. He knows where to be. He's composed. Eriku's obviously made that. He's tried to find Aquara, but that's why you follow in.
Absolutely. A couple of assists now for Eriku as the halftime whistle blows there. Not a lot of time allowed by referee there, Eric, but the Aces certainly happy of the two as that ball came across and put it down to fatigue or whatever it is. But Dominic Burbage, like a poacher there, just being at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, I mean, that one has got to be, it's the end of the half. Whoever it is, obviously it's exhausted, but you can't let midfield runners just run straight through like that on track.
Absolutely. So the Aces go into the break with a 5-1 lead. We'll have a short break here from Darwin Football Stadium, Larrakia Park, and then have the second half not far away. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second half of action here. Men's Premier League between the Mindil Aces Football Club and Darwin Hearts FC. It's been all one-way traffic so far in this contest. It's been a Mindil show as we are gearing up for the second half in moments to come. The Hearts with two attacking changes, Schwan Rocker coming on and Esborn Sikia as well, and the Aces, thankfully just the one confirmed sub who we can advise that Dom Burbage has come from the field to be replaced by Emmanuel Kipyator. Looks like for the Hearts, a change out on the right-hand side, definitely with Sikia coming on and Schwan Rocker. It looks like Yadu Siwal has come off for the Hearts in the midfield for Schwan Rocker, and then attacking. We'll get that confirmed as soon as we can.
Well, I know that the Aces will definitely remember Sikia, who tore them to shreds at the end of last season, and I think they'll be looking to try and target balls over the top to Mifsud and get Sikia's pace in behind. So it'll be really interesting to see how that works.
Absolutely, as the second half gets kicked off underway, just past 9:30 p.m. local time, as the Hearts looking to try and conjure something, and there's that pace you mentioned of Esborn Sikia coming forward. A little too much there, the substitute, but he is a live wire as Rishi Maga plays one long and wide. Flag stays down as Angel Geary takes the ball and looking to thread it inside for his other substitute in Rocker, but Lewis Jones just out into touch, and we'll see what those changes do make. Rocker and Sikia.
Well, we were talking at half-time about how an early goal for Hearts here will at least put a bit of a flutter in the Aces and you know, maybe make them a bit nervous. So to be this next 15 minutes could really make or break the game both ways.
Absolutely, and it looks like it was Samueli Msafiri who came off for the Hearts for the substitute of Esborn Sikia. Is now coming out wide here is Robin Shrestha. Back to his goalkeeper. Sushil Shah got there. Very risky as Rocker closed down by Wallace and manages to get a ball out there. Sikia. Now, bit of congestion here as Rishi Maga comes away, but there is a player down for the Hearts. It doesn't look good. Vuli holding the knee as Deng Jock comes away. Flag stays down.
He's been good in those runs in the corner, Jock.
Yeah, I was going to say, as impressive as Eriku is with that kind of that leap off.
Yeah, exactly.
Just not the final product there, but very good. Despite his size, he's able to
across the back of the centre back. Yeah.
If as a centre half, if you lose him for a second or two, and you're going in the opposite direction, it could be detrimental. But Vuli immediately.
This is a big loss for Hearts if he can't continue.
He made the signal for a substitution, and again, rather consider yourself not quite in the bracket of 42 years of age,
not
but
far off.
It certainly can't be.
Similar body types too, me and him.
I'm sure an arm wrestle would go down well, but the physicality and the size he carries, Vuli to be playing so much football lately.
Yeah, just playing, as I keep saying, playing the cup and then playing like. And honestly, yeah, I forgot to mention I injured myself doing that. And at our age, it's just really hard to back up. Yeah, and this is something that has killed Hearts in previous seasons. Is they've got a talented first 11. They've had attackers that are always a threat, but it's it's depth.
Yep.
It's hurt them. And as I think you mentioned it in previous years, very rare last season for them to have their whole
best
first 11 there. And this year they've started with their best 11. They've looked deadly, and then it's, now they're tied from the cup. They've got a couple of knocks, and now it's going to be really hard for them to dig deep.
Doesn't look good, and of course,
looks like maybe a hamstring.
The Darwin Hearts do play a very important game on the 11th of May up against Verdi Football Club from the Red Centre for a spot in the Australia Cup final.
It would be amazing if Verdi could get to the final twice.
Well, certainly it has looked to be on the cards. I've been in close conversations with a former Aces spearhead in Tavian Ludvigsen, and he's said that a lot of the same players are there from the previous season. While there have been some outs, there's been some pretty handy additions. Of course, the African and Nepalese community seems to be pretty big in Alice Springs, and I've also heard from authority from other fans of the game in Alice Springs that Verdi might just pip the Hearts and make it to the final.
And then I think whilst Olympic and Casuarina both very good sides, and don't take nothing away from Casuarina, who executed a game plan against us, and Olympic, who did a great game against us, the cup's there for the taking.
Oh, yeah.
But all the teams have flaws. They're all
while they're good,
beatable.
they're not without their imperfections.
Exactly
Absolutely
right. And it'd be amazing if an Alice Springs team went all the way.
Well, I think part of the issue is, for a long time, and certainly for as long as I've been in the territory looking at the games, the lack of video footage, of course, of the teams from the Red Centre often acts as a detriment. As fortunate we are to have these games streamed and commentated every week, the teams from the Red Centre get to see how we play.
Absolutely. I know for sure when we had to play the Alice Springs team last year, and obviously they had a couple of ex-Aces players, their game plan killed us.
Yeah.
And a lot of that also was our game plan was playing terribly.
As the Aces now look to come forward, nice electric run there from Kipyator. He's pulled to ground and gets
a card, but he's got away with
back up again.
Fairly cynical play.
Yeah.
Back up, Eric might have missed it.
And he got back to his feet straight away. Kipyator trying to disregard the free kick. Yeah.
He's unreal how strong he is for his size, but he is coming back from injury, so I know that McCormick will be watching him take hits and, wincing with him.
Absolutely, and still seems as though you said that quad is strapped up just for precaution.
He got a bad cork in pre-season, and then I think that escalated to a strain from overuse him maybe coming back too quick. And then we're trying to bring him back slowly, but he's just so eager to play, and he's such a talented player that you don't want to keep him on ice all year.
Absolutely. Fortunate enough to watch him firsthand at the National Youth Championships in 2023 as Eriku fires in, blocked away, almost falling to the feet of Kipyator, and the Hearts trying to break away. Deng Jock on that explosive pace, but he's matched up with Eriku. Does well to get away from a couple, but he just corrals himself into danger, and that experience there of Evans does well. Same as Eriku. Takes possession and tries to go to... Yeah, but look at that reading there, just able to try and get away. Nice turn from Geary. Jones will be on his heels as Angel Geary with a lot of pace and certainly a lot of skill, but the experience and reading there from James Carr was just what the doctor ordered, as Chol Jock now trying to keep things going. Kipyator perhaps only knows one speed, and that's full throttle.
That's it.
Nothing in that, just a bit of where was I supposed to go, ref?
And I think it's a bit of that, as a forward, when you lose the ball, there's always a bit of extra to try and win it back.
Yeah.
You often go a bit overboard and give away the foul.
One of the most honest players I can say I know, Emmanuel Kipyator. He's probably one of the only youth players, which is a good... just quickly get to this free kick as it comes inside, and Rechadri collects that to ease. Away in the youth championships, obviously I had to manage that side, and Manny was one of those only players who would take his plate to be washed, manners all the time. And
he's a young leader. He's a great young kid. He's found his personality a bit this year in the Aces, and he's starting to show a few
out of that shell
and a bit of banter. But he's really coming out of his shell.
It's great to see. As comes out of Sushil Shah, stolen away from Aquara. Good physicality, and he'll plays it through to Kipyator. Chance here for Emmanuel Kipyator, and Manucci had to come out and get something onto it. Nero Shrestha, here is Burgess. Perhaps thought about it, going for it, plays through Kipyator, that pace to burst away, gets across, and Manucci makes the stop.
Manucci does come off his line well. As a keeper, he's a great shot stopper, and he's quick off his line.
One of those players that was, I guess certainly the season before last, really established himself as the #1 goalkeeper back then for University Azuri, of course now Azuri United, and then with the introduction certainly last year of Lachlan Rechadri to Azuri United, it kind of stole that starting spot for him. And then in pre-season, obviously as the rings and roundabouts go, a number of clubs were interested in him, and he certainly appeared at a number of clubs pre-seasons, but he's really found his feet at the Darwin Hearts.
Yeah, it seems like it, and he's had a great start to the year. He's made some great saves. I think he's kept the most clean sheets so far.
Unfortunately tonight, won't be adding to that.
But I mean, that said, the goals tonight, you look at it and you think there's not really much you can do about any of them. We always seem to score good goals against Josh Medici. It's not his fault.
That's right. Some great finishes, and we've seen a couple of those as well. As Sikia looking to bounce away, needs to have good feet, puts Carter ground as Angel Geary turns away from that pressure, that unrelenting Aces presses. They're forced to go back. Rishi Magar poking one over the top. Rabin Shrestha, slight fatigue there as Mifsud gets it forward. Now Eriku.
Back himself here.
Enter Eriku, and he blazes away.
Might go all the way.
The Aces man still going forward on his left.
Oh. Minucci did well to close the angle, but Eric will be very disappointed.
So another touch to the left and could have driven a bit more force behind it.
Just, I mean, he'd run a long way, and he'd also can't overstate that he was tracking back tired when the ball came over, so he was already didn't have much gas in the tank and just pushed it through, so it's obviously one of those tired legs having to execute under pressure.
For sure. And again, have made the one change at the half, the Aces, 2 for the Hearts, with just under 10 minutes played of this second half. Perhaps more changes are on their way shortly, but we'll see if that does occur as Rabin Shrestha sends one forward, but again with plenty of time to track that one. Evans the other way. Clifford Maynard. Now Kipyator. Look at this. Kipyator, just plenty of time, and plays it through to Acquire and perhaps might win a corner kick. No, Shah does just enough, but referee says...
That's the one thing that Manny's going to develop in his game, is he continues. He's a great player, he's electric, he's so hard to tackle, he's so strong, but it's just that final ball, the final shot, it's not quite there, and that's completely normal for a player of his age, and it's going to come more and more. You're seeing it come in training more and more. I mean, I think he'll get a goal this game, I reckon, the way he's looking.
Certainly has provided a lot of electric performances towards the end of last year as well. And
the other thing he delivers is just the work rate. You'll see, you'll watch throughout this game, when they're going to attack, Manny will be back. He does the work, he gets there, he's so honest, he never cheats, never lets his defender get overlapped. He's just such a worker.
So...
Is it a corner?
Not exactly sure. The referee's...
I think it's a corner, but Hearts players get treated for something.
Niraj Shrestha comes to the sideline in the hands of Dipesh Cadell there, as it will be a attack for the Hearts. Just over 10 minutes played. Oh no, it's a Mindil ball. Oh, it is a Mindil ball. And offside is the call. Not quite sure.
I'm not sure if Matt Mifsud agrees with that one.
Not sure if I agree with that one, but nevertheless, it was given as offside as Shrestha comes out to...
Once again, it might be biased winger opinions here, but
it seemed like a player on the line.
Our Darwin linesmen are always very, very generous to call offsides. I think the Darwin defenders get some free ones a lot.
Yeah, certainly so, as cause of a foul throw there ignored as it's off the...
Didn't look like a handball to me.
Thigh, perhaps.
Yeah, looked up the mistake from Mindil.
You certainly call for them, as nice tracking there from Carr momentarily. Deng Jock might be in here, but Lewis Jones tracks back, and some perhaps words of encouragement for Deng Jock by the Aces supporters there.
Very, very encouraging supporters, the Aces.
Sikia trying to go inside, but the referee really not interested in entertaining any calls from Esborn Sikia, who last year played a prominent role, of course, with the captain's armband for the Hearts, and still even this year scored the winner against Hellenic in their 1-0 victory in the league only weeks ago. But
yeah, I really rate him. I'm surprised he hasn't been playing that much of a part. I'm not sure if there's stuff off the field, or maybe he just hasn't been able to get as fit this year.
Well, I think Sunil Shrestha's largely in part for, and then the form of Deng Jock.
Yeah, of course, yeah, and it's it's not like the Hearts have been suffering without him. But he's whenever I see him play, I'm really impressed with him. He's aggressive, he wins it, and he takes it past players.
Pace as well, as goes out wide there by Surendra Buddhathoki, and Geary looks to get one for Esborn Sikia, and the goalkeeper there tracks it well. Lachlan Raychadri comes through here for Rabin Shrestha, being tracked by Acquira. And now Sushil Shah with time on the ball.
So I think this is one thing the Aces need to be conscious of, is that when Hearts start to get the time here to tick it over in midfield, this is when they look dangerous. So I think it's hard to keep the work rate up at 5-1, but if they want to keep pushing, they just can't let Rishi come and get it, turn, start ticking it over, because they look deadly doing this against Hellenic.
I will say in defence of the Aces, though, they are still tracking as a unit.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And not just allowing the Hearts to freely play with the ball. In the previous match against Azuri United and Olympic, it seemed as though when each side had possession of the ball, the other were just happy for them to have it. And then once it got to the final third, then that's when both sides turned on and defended. So Aces, for their advantage, have defended very well. And perhaps more or less just happy to trade blow for blow at the moment. The Hearts really coming undone as it comes through here for Esborn Stickia, but
I think Jimmy Carr played the offside trap there. Saw Josh Evans stepping up and
straight away from the experienced centre half.
Although
of course,
the Heart supporters who are in line don't agree, so who knows?
Stickia will ask the question for sure. And offside clearly called by referee Nasir Jamoun, just to the near side.
James Carr coming off for a well-earned rest.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's Jacob Manley who's coming on to replace him. I think that'll, maybe, as you said, it's 5-1 up, rest some of your players, then also for those long balls over the top and Sickia's pace, there's it's definitely pretty hard to outpace Manley.
Oh, and outstrength Mihanli as well, as gets sent forward here. Nice rise by Sushil Shah.
Very strong defence there.
Rishi Magar wide to Rabin Shrestha. Finds Sushil Shah, but immediately under pressure. Clifford Maynard cutting off the direct channel to Budathoki, having to rethink his approach. Goes wide to Rabin Shrestha. Good touch from the Nepalese fullback to Magar. Now Shrestha, who's dropped into a centre-half role with the departure of Vuli. Nice as well.
That's one thing that's kind of understated, is that whilst he's an unreal attacking player, Burgess's defensive pressing is so good. He wins it high, he tracks
free
back.
Kick and yellow card will come out there to Rishi Magar. So the set piece opportunity for the Aces, and I believe it's their first free kick of promising eventuality, and they've got a number, as I mentioned, tall timber to get forward.
I'm surprised to see Josh Evans not get in the box, because he wins a lot of headers.
He goes left-footed, perhaps
maybe even a layoff for a shot could be on here.
He's in some space and hasn't been picked up yet. Eriku perhaps with just one thing on his mind.
I don't think Eriku will pass it to him, but if he does.
He's shaping up for a reception, but Eriku certainly looks like he's going to go into the box, unless he'll to see both of us. Sticks true. Back post. Oh, what a goal.
It's Jacob Manley with his first touch, maybe.
He read that very well. I didn't want to say there'd be a goal off the boot of Eriku at the time of the free kick, but wonderful. A hat-trick of assists for Charles Eriku.
He's turned it on tonight, and he's announced himself as back properly.
Yeah. Just catching the end of that, the touch on by Mihanli.
An own goal, I'm not sure. Jacob seemed to be claiming it, so we'll give it to him.
We'll credit it to Mihanli, certainly. A night to forget so far for the Hearts. 6-1 with less than half an hour to play.
I think it's gone about as well as you could hope for the Aces.
And I think Callum Kerr wants to join in on the fun.
And it's
Wallace, perhaps.
So Callum will get a go at number 8 in the box-to-box role, which he's he's played a lot of. He's played mainly as a left back for the Aces so far, but
look at that. Just the selflessness. Matthew Wallace gave the armband to Clifford Maynard, and he literally looked around the entire pitch, and then upon giving it to perhaps the most senior player out there for Mindil, that is, in Matthew Mifsud.
Yeah, well, Matty Mifsud's out there has captained the Aces to a grand final victory, and he's no stranger to it. He's a real leader on and off the pitch, Matty, and as you said, a veteran. So
substitution there. Matthew Wallace, the captain, coming off for Callum Kerr, who was speaking to him off the field a couple of weeks ago at a public cafe. I said, mate, you'd be a very good number 6. And he said, don't you worry, I think it's happening soon. So
look, Callum's one of those players. He was one of the players we targeted. We didn't target many. We're not a big recruiting club from other players in Darwin. And Callum was one of the few that we targeted because he can play across the field and do a very good job, and we knew as a leader and his attitude he was exactly what the calibre of play we wanted in the Aces, because it's important they come in with the right atmosphere in the dressing sheds.
100%.
And he's been exactly that. He hasn't disappointed.
certainly captained the young Azuri United last season and was utilised as a centre half, but pretty much has been playing all over the park for the Aces, notably as a left back and now holding the midfield. You can see him right on halfway as the ball comes forward.
I think in the cup game versus Katarina, he covered like over 15 kilometres in the match, which is pretty hefty.
No slouch, that's for sure. Callum Kerr and Siki are not one either, but just a little overzealous there.
I think that's a great example of what we're talking about when it comes to trying to outmuscle Jacob. He's just such a strong player. It's a nightmare to play against.
Often, especially in that case, when you do, it's a foul. So I did say veteran in Matthew Mifsud, but perhaps an understatement as to the player that's coming on now when you talk about veterans.
Exactly right. He might rival our Fijian friend. I think he's 47 now, Taki Kudo, who's coming on, and he's no sign of slowing down. He had a bad knee injury last season, and we're all, I think speak for the whole Darwin football community when I say we're thrilled to see him back on the park.
100%. It's one of those players that plays the game with a smile on his face, and it's also the goalkeeper, Joshua Minucci, who is coming from the field. So Clifford Maynor comes off, replaced by Taiki Kudo.
Oh, that's interesting that Josh is coming off. Is it maybe an injury or? Joshua
Minucci off for Ushindi Abedi.
Maybe a real game changer at the back, the goalkeeper.
Has played nearly all the minutes for the Hearts this season. Of course, did come off late in their side's victory against Azuri United for Ubedi again. So a lot of minutes into the youngster's belt as the sub is made. And Taiki Kudo again for Maynor, just coming on to reassure that centre of the park as Evans with possession. Peels off to Eriku, back to Evans on the right foot, searching for Kipyator, and this could work here. Emmanuel Kipyator through on goal, has a shot. Oh, that's a wonderful strike. Welcome back to the big time. Emmanuel Kipyator turned on the pace, and well, he welcomed the substitute goalkeeper into the game with a parting gift. That's a fantastic piece of play, and really not the best of goalkeepers in Darwin would have kept that one out. It was perhaps in line with the goalkeeper, but the ferocity and not just the shot, but the pace to get out to that.
He's been working a lot when he's finishing, and we're seeing the results at training, and I mean, he deserves that. He was one of our best performers in pre-season, and injuries hit him hard, so I mean, I think I said that he was going to pop up with a goal here.
Another player to be put on ice is Sam Burgess, who has certainly lit up the league this season in terms of performances. His teammate James Cameron thought he was a bit less than impressive tonight, but certainly he played a role.
Not that he's less than impressive, but it's like usually we're coming off saying that he was our
best
star.
player. Yeah,
and I think tonight there's a couple of other players who's shone as bright as him.
100%.
So it's more that it's good to see some other blokes stepping up.
So Konzionis coming on there, and Burgess animated as he's back onto the field. I'm not sure you're allowed to do that as a player.
Yeah, so McCormick will be keen to keep people calm here, because at 7-1 up, you can only really be a detriment to us, to the Aces.
Yeah, that's 100%.
I think something's happened off the ball here that's got Burgess fired up.
I think a Hearts player projected into the technical area and made contact.
The Aces dugout is motioning that a punch has been thrown.
A yellow card does come out to Burgess.
And nothing for the Hearts player.
Oh, no. Oh, yep. Correct. I thought the back pocket was coming out there for a red card, but...
So it looks like whatever happened wasn't spotted, but the Aces were motioning about a punch being thrown.
McCormick asking the questions, certainly. Looks very displeased there, Daniel McCormick.
I think, yeah, McCormick...
Animated there.
We'll just want things to calm down here. Oh, he's saying a finger jab in someone's eye.
He's not one to kick a fuss, Daniel McCormick, unless there's something. I'm sure we'll catch up with him post-game to see what occurred. But in the meantime, just a yellow card to Sam Burgess, who throw in to come for the Hearts out of defence. Deng Jock perhaps getting involved.
I think Deng Jock is who is being accused of having done something unsavoury.
And so the Hearts looking to come out of defence. Oh, it's a good tackle there. But
it looked like he got a lot of ball in that and that's got the Aces
A lot
crowd
of
fired up.
displeasure, absolutely.
I mean, it might be one of those ones where he's gone through the leg of the Hearts player to get to it, because that might be what the ref's seen. But I think, I think honestly at this stage, it'd be the Aces would just want to calm it down, which I think that obviously tempers are up.
100%, yep.
I think McCormick will be frustrated to get more cards or any reds or anything out of this game when it could just be in control.
Correct, and
I say that as someone who, if I was out there, would be getting yellow cards.
you'd be certainly asking questions for sure.
I'd be talking a little bit maybe.
Of course, and
although this season, you might note, I'm not going to get a yellow card for dissent all season. You can remind me of that.
I think you would have...
Probably because I won't play.
You would have had another unsavoury challenge made there by Dean Jock, perhaps.
He seems like he's getting away with a bit, and I think, there might be a couple of Aces players out there who might want to get revenge on him there.
Perhaps.
So hopefully they keep their heads.
Eriku pacing away from Sushil Shah. Can make matters go worse here. Across to Kipyator. Kerr! And it gets a block on the way through. And to your point, I mean, the Aces are back in action this same time. Oh,
I think Charles Eriku said something in back play there.
yellow card to...
See, this is the sort of stuff that will frustrate McCormick, because it's unusual trait of Darwin Premier League is that there's a limit to how many yellow cards you can get before you get a point deduction.
Correct.
And it's very low compared to other leagues in Australia. I think it's something like you have to average less than 3 yellow cards a game.
A game, yeah.
Which it's going to be a close title chase, as we've talked about, and Mindil in the last 2 seasons have copped that point deduction.
It was very much almost a big conversation point last year, just how close the league was. Three points in it, or at least a couple games.
I think Hellenic might have run away with it at the end, but the season before that, we won it last game of the season, I think.
Points in it has covered there, so...
And this season, as we said, like anyone's taking points off anyone, so it's it could be very tight.
Some may say it's to account for the lack of teams we have compared to other states, but another attack for the Aces.
I know that the fact that you do get such a low allocation of cards in this league means that it'll be frustrating for McCormick in a game where we're winning 7-1.
100% is.
See pointless yellows.
Oh, and Eriku does well there. Leaves the foot out, but does well. Charles Eriku! Oh, what a goal! Charles Eriku comes across. Bit of a routine there from Charles Eriku. His performance like that, James, deserved a goal. Hat-trick of assists. And
he's been, probably best on park for me. Since I know I said Wallace earlier, but Charles has just not stopped, and he's given his defender a nightmare tonight. And as I said, I know that he's set high targets for himself for this year, and hopefully he kicks on from here and keeps it going.
So it's really now getting out of control. 8-1 to the Aces, and we did say it pre-game, having only conceded 2 goals prior to tonight, the Darwin Hearts, in 4 games. They've conceded 8 in just 1 match, and there's still 18 minutes to go. Sushil Shah to Surindra Budathoki.
Yeah, I think at this rate, Hearts will just want the final whistle to go as soon as possible. And I think a few of these Aces players, because it is competitive in our squad, will be looking for some opportunities to keep getting some goals.
You're exactly right, and plenty of goals to count. I know I'll come out of defence. I'll try to hear the Hearts. Rocker. Maga to Niro Shrestha. Sushil Shah going forward. Oh, a challenge. Nicely done there from Mihanli. Kipyator back to Lewis Jones, and now Emmanuel Kipyator. Angel Geary going back to his goalkeeper, Betty. Now Budathoki. Out to Rabin Shrestha. Now Rishi Maga. Forward sent by Sharon Rocker. And now Mihan Lee back to Ray Chadri. Mihan Lee. And so just over 15 minutes to go alluded to by some of the Aces fans in the crowd. Perhaps just you want to turn this into a game of possession. If the opportunity presents itself for the Aces, you go for it, but 8-1 in front, you don't need to be making any rash decision-making here.
Yeah, don't need to overexert yourself, just need to play smart football. You've got the fast wingers who can hit them on the break. Yeah, we'll just be wanting to keep it ticking over. As you can see here from Ray Chowdhury is happy enough sitting on it.
Absolutely. So the Aces having exhausted all their subs, so everyone getting in on the action. As Mihan Lee sends this forward, Kipyator, look at that race here. Emmanuel Kipyator, off he goes. Oh, and Betty getting a touch to that one.
Maybe could have kept running at him there, but he showed electric pace to get onto it, didn't he?
Almost disappointed the save was made, because that would have been a goal to talk about for weeks, and perhaps the starting position is not far away for Emmanuel Kipyator at the rate he's tracking.
He'll be pushing for it. I think Chol Jock might be counting his lucky stars that he's tackled and collected, because it would have been hard for that not to be a red card.
Yep. Last man challenge that would have been.
It's pretty cynical.
So there's a lot of danger for Mindil, as we've seen that have started the game and have come off the bench, and we alluded to it earlier. It was only a matter of time before this side clicked together, and it's hard to argue against perhaps this could be the game that has done it.
It looks a lot like it, and it's, I mean, we've been saying it's going to happen. We were coming off at games thinking it's not a crisis. It just hasn't gone in, and we're not quite there. We hit the post twice against Casuarina. It's been threatening, but we definitely still haven't been happy with the level of performance. But I'd say McCormick will be happy with this one, and that's arguably our most clinical finisher, Alex Barry, still yet to come back into the squad.
Well, we alluded to it last week with play on, says the referee. Sushil Shah goes to ground easily, much to the enjoyment of the Aces fans, as Konzionis now with possession. A lot of time to dwell on the ball as well. Backwards to Mihan Lee. Jones to Evans.
I think there's not much love lost between Hearts and Aces supporters after a couple of heated games in the last few years. They've frustrated us when we've needed points before. They've taken wins off us, and I know that they've always enjoyed that. Yeah, I know that both sets of supporters would enjoy taking points off the other one.
100%.
It's not quite an Olympic Hellenic rivalry.
No, well, I mean, dubbing it the clash of the casino derby. Casino derby, yeah.
Hearts on Aces.
It certainly has a nice ring to it, and it's safe to say that the Aces have called the Hearts bluff in this game.
It's been a royal flush.
Royal flush. I'm not much of a gambler, so I tried my best.
Barely gambled myself. Would never.
Sikia, though, a rare chance for the Hearts to counter-attack. The better half of Mihan Lee. Sikia once again. Oh, the footwork.
Great feet. Mihan Lee's done well to stick with him.
Corner kick, as Mihan Lee thinks he's done enough to
almost overcomplicated it. It felt like he beat him a couple of times, then went back and had another go. And you're not going to get too many chances. I feel like that first cut in, he could have just had one.
Absolutely. Perhaps overdoing it, and so the tricky corner here. It's not just the defenders you got to defend against. I've been told by authority that there's some unhappy birds that are causing some mischief on that side. Yeah. As Sikia comes in, all Mindil in the box. As Geary goes for a strike, and Lewis Jones deflects that away. Chol Jock.
Aquara on a hat-trick still, of course, so he'll be... I know that he'll be for his own tally, keen to get another one, so no doubt that's why McCormick's left him on. I
know there's been 8 goals already in this game, but certainly Aquara's double is one that I almost forgot about, just because I think he scored...
They were both from the 6-yard box.
And one of the first 3 goals of the game, so his teammates have come to the plate since, and...
Is he the only one on a double?
Correct, yeah.
Right. So it's 6 different goal scorers.
Absolutely. It's been a plethora of takers at this buffet of goals for the Aces in this game, and especially in a league like this, to have players that can score no matter where they are on the pitch is really handy to have. As Callum Kerr sends another one through. Starting from behind is Eriku. Flag will stay down. Aquara's in the box. Eriku comes through. Oh, and it's just enough there. But Kipyator. And
scrambling.
Yeah, they defend with heart there, the Hearts, and Rocker to
Maga. Would have
Maga.
been thinking he was there for the square up, but I mean, Eriku did it all right. He just couldn't quite get the last touch past him.
Yeah, desperate defending from the Hearts as now they have possession. I know he got it. The weak ball forward here for Geary, angled to perfection. Angel Geary will come away.
He'll look
Jones,
right, I'd say.
Sure think he would. He does. Bracing himself, but now across to Rocker. Takes the touch to set and shoots and is wide.
Lifson did well to get out.
I know. Another ball is required. No sub yet. And I know he won it, I think, the week before last, but Eriku putting in another player of the week kind of performance with.
I mean, yeah, it'd be hard to look past him. Although, in all honesty, these Aces players have no idea who to vote for. Some of the votes are baffling. So, not that I ever deserve it, but some of the blokes they give it to is just crazy. So they're great players, but terrible judges of football, these boys.
Well, I personally would be very surprised not to see Charles Eriku.
Just don't hold your breath, is all I'm saying.
No.
Watch some of these games. You'll watch Clifford Maynard comes off with like 6 votes every week, even though he hardly touches the ball sometimes. It's crazy.
So substitution for the Hearts here. It looks like Deng Jock has run his course.
Maybe just a
frustrating performance, I think. He got it back to 2 goals to 1, and then since then he's really just been boxed out of the game.
Faded in and out of the game a lot. Yeah, it's as we keep saying, it is tough against this back line. It's I was really impressed from even on the field of Casemiro for Casuarina against. I think he kind of set the blueprint of
how to.
Like he was left isolated a lot, and every time he got the ball, he got it up the field. He did something with the limited balls that he got. It's a tough ask, but I was really impressed with what Casemiro did. And I think other teams, it's a big ask, but it's like you're almost doing doggies non-stop. You have to get up there, win what you can, get the field up there, and and then hope your supporting runners get there in time.
Almost have to reinvent the wheel when you're attacking against an Aces defence like this. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, we said it earlier, of course, Olympic very lucky to get a draw against the Aces, and it was a free kick from a very audacious.
Have looked the most dangerous against the Aces team. I think even with 10, I think they really got after it, and they had some chances coming through, even with Aces 2-1 up against 10 men. So I give full credit to Olympic, and if Andrew Prifty had stayed on, maybe it could have been more.
But then we said it to the credit, it's going to be a very, very even competition, but not just this match, but the result and the ramifications it has, of course, will influence.
Hearts have been, for me, the best team in the comp so far. So it's I think, this will give the Aces a lot of confidence.
Without discrediting the other sides too much, of course, this same time next week, the Aces do take on Garuda, and an opportunity to go top of the table, of course. The Hearts will be licking their wounds from tonight, and they have to go into battle against Olympic next week. So perhaps an opportunity for the Aces next week to climb to the summit of the table. And
yeah, I think we're just going to, we just have to keep pushing on, keep doing what we're doing, stick with our game plan. I mean, we're now going to be the only unbeaten team left in the league, and I know that's we're just always first and foremost coming off saying, not going to lose our battles, going to execute our game plan, and if the ball starts flying in like it does, I think this, we're going to be a pretty dangerous.
So free kick now for Lewis Jones to strike. Back post is Callum Kerr, comes into a good area, away from Nero Shrestha. Back in by Jones, taken down well by Aquara. Kerr in there as well. It's Conzionis that tried to get involved, and
spacing behind here.
Hearts trying. Geary. Taiki Kudo once again.
Vital interceptions there, because Hearts could have been right in behind.
That footwork from Kipiator is exquisite. Comes out here for Conzionis. Chance on the right. It comes inside. Eriku scores! And perhaps he'll come across to this far side for another dance routine there, but fortunately not able to capture that one on camera.
Too R-rated for TV, that one must be.
Well, perhaps. But you can't take away from the finish. Charles Eriku absolutely laced that one into the back of the net, and Mindil, with still more than 5 minutes to play, it's threatening to get into a double-digit lead as That makes it 9-1.
It's getting ugly now. It's we've seen a few ugly scorelines already this year, but yeah, you wouldn't have thought this Hearts outfit. I mean, as tired as they are, they'll be very disappointed with this one. They're a better team than this.
Good ball in from Conzionis.
I know they've just lost their big man at the back, but it's I mean,
even before that, it looked a little bit on ropes. And
I think it's also important to know that whilst 5-1, 6-1, okay, the game might be lost, as we keep talking about how close this comp's going to be, goal difference does matter. And like another 4 or 5 goals is a big dent in them.
Well, it takes Mindil now to plus 15, which is quite the sizable goal difference. And the Hearts, after a performance like this, will be on to go down to level on goal difference. They were plus 8 prior to tonight, and so they'll be on 0.
It can't be a card for that, surely. Oh, it's going to be a card for the Hearts
player. Yep.
Okay.
Chol Jock going in the book.
For just a bit of afters, it was
Yep. Oh, and a card to Kipyator. It's a bit disappointing.
Very soft both ways. I mean, it's a bit of a push and shove afterwards. It's silly from the players, but it was already sorted out.
Yeah.
As we keep talking about, it's. I mean, I know it's easy for a ref to want to keep the game calm, but for these players, it's over the course of a season, you get suspended after 4, I think 5. It's hundreds of dollars of fines. It's
also
point deductions. It means a lot. It adds up when you're giving in the 85th minute for a tiny push and shove after it can easily just be told to calm down.
Correct. And if I'm not mistaken, in situations like that, like a 1-game suspension for an accumulation of cards can't be contested. It's one of those things that they say, well, it was accumulated.
But the little ones all add up. I mean,
correct.
Just earlier we saw a melee with 7 players pushing and shoving, and 1 Mindil player got a yellow card.
The player who was off the field.
And then you're seeing a bit of push and shove with 2, and they both get one. I'm saying neither player should get one. But I mean, I understand that refs want to control the game and want to calm it down. But sometimes I just think this.
I think it's not unfair to call for a bit of consistency, perhaps just a re-evaluation.
I'm not anything about Manny specifically, but I know for a young player,
he wouldn't have been looking for
$50. It could be significant.
But he wouldn't have. I don't think he was looking for a yellow card. Safe to say.
I don't think either player. I think either player had moved on. It was a bit of push and shove and wrestle for a gap ball, and it was calmed down already. But
so play continues here. The Hearts just limping to the finish line. Magar, it's dispossessed once again. Chance for the Aces to get 10. Callum Kerr urged to shoot. I think a lot of fans are looking away, thinking that was going to go in. And
he's a real crowd favourite already, Callum, and he's really the Aces family's embraced him, and he's had a lot of shots this year, some of them worse than others, and I think everyone's quite keen on him getting his first one. I think he's got a good shot in him, but he's also got a bad shot in him.
Certainly, I think on his left peg is very handy, and so Eriku, in the matter of minutes, is now joining Aquara on a hat-trick. Will either of these Aces spearheads notch that milestone? As Rabin Shrestha goes back to Sushil Shah, and to their credit, the Hearts, they're still trying to play the ball around. They've not thrown the towel in completely, as Shah looking up, only finding a lateral pass across defence to Rishi Magar. Now Rocker back to Niraj Shrestha. Now Shah once again. Less than 2 minutes remain. The Hearts just trying to keep possession, but they're giving it away needlessly. Evans invited to join forward. Goes away from Jack John Masfiri. And trying to continue as Evans.
He's a hard player to dispossess.
Very strong and a good left foot. Ubedi getting it across. Not the tallest goalkeeper, nearly spilling that one, but claims it and plays it quickly to
I think he'll be quite relieved that Aquara didn't have time to get near there to challenge that one, because it would have been a few feet on him.
Yeah. And now Rocker. Now Esborn Sikia. Robin Shrestha gives the ball away. Eriku, perhaps he's in the mood now, trying to dink it over Sushil Shah. Doing well to get back there. Budathoki, and now Shah comes away to Kipyator. time to assess, and Aquara's presented an option. Thinking about it, Aquara on his left, and he has a shot that's blocked.
I think Aquara on 2 goals, getting the ball there is never going to pass.
No.
And,
why would you?
You don't want your number 9 passing there. Let him get his hat-trick.
100%. Magar, wide to Esborn Sikia. Rabin Shrestha. Brought to ground, there's
Well done,
Konzionis, but back to his feet. Keeping himself honest. Eriku taking it to the byline, I think. Oh no, craftingly getting a pass away. And out of play. Fought for a corner, but
I think Mifsid's a little bit baffled that that one hasn't been given.
perhaps was going straight to the corner flag to take it, but
Mifsid's offended that the Hearts player didn't admit it. Very notoriously honest player himself, Matt Mifsid.
yeah.
Would never lie to a ref.
Still asking the question. As the Hearts come away with it, and just not even 90 minutes.
When it's a big score either way, Eric will never give any extra time.
No, I would have said we're not going to see much additional time. Usually there is about 30 seconds per goal, but nevertheless, it is a convincing victory for the Mindil Aces on this Friday night, which rounds out Friday night football. We will recap the goal scorers. It was 9, and count them in fact. It was a double to Charles Eriku as well as Uche Aquara, and then singles to Dominic Burbage, Joshua Evans, Lewis Jones, Emmanuel Kipiator, and Jacob Meehan Lee, and the solitary goal for Deng Jok. Result ends 9 goals to 1. The Aces move within 1 point of the top. My name's been George Scufezis, and it's been a pleasure to have you alongside me, James. I hope for your sake it is the last time that you're back out on the pitch, but
looks like me hope for their sake I'm not. It was a bloodbath.
Well, if it is, I hope to have you back here in the near future. But until then, have a safe rest of your Friday, and we'll see you tomorrow